So it is now August 9th, um, and it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning after an incredibly rainy couple of days, some serious storms, and now it's serious sun. I put the towels out to dry because they get gross, and I'm about to start work. I'm a few minutes before I have to clock in, which is one of the wonderful things about working from home. And I just put the remainder of my French press coffee on the stove to heat. And I wanted to come out here and maybe grab another cucumber to add to the salad I made last night. Steve wasn't feeling well last night and all his lights were off. So I ate some of that cucumber salad and I'm just going to replenish it. It was good. It was really good. I just sort of tossed some of the basil that I picked yesterday and all of those little tomatoes and some sunflower seeds and some feta cheese and salt and pepper and oregano and a slight tiny bit of honey mustard dressing, but really just like a tablespoon of that in a huge thing. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, a jalapeno pepper that I picked yesterday. It's so beautiful out here. Anyways, I did an exercise last night that was recommended and wrote a letter to someone and dated it a year from now and told them what I was doing and where I was and all of the wonderful things that were going on in my life, the things that I want to see in my life. And so I'm kind of thinking about that whole idea of manifesting. And I really do think that we manifest. We create our realities, and mostly in our head, like mostly by what we're constantly ruminating on, thinking about. And a lot of us tend to go on autopilot in that way, just the way we kind of go on autopilot in where we go in the world, like in the physical world. Like we just generally tend to keep to the same places at the same times every day. So we kind of go on autopilot in our thoughts as well. And yeah, I was thinking about that in conjunction with trauma and how, the reason trauma builds up in us is because we just move on from it. It happens and we try to get away from it as fast as we can. Or, well, also we are just forced to move away from it because the world needs us out there working to make money for someone else. Just think about in the worst cases. Well, let's not think about the worst cases. Being raped is pretty bad. That's pretty worst case, but just think about that, and you're raped, and people feel bad for you and support you and stuff like that. But then, after a little while, they're like, "Come on, get up, let's go." Let's. You don't have to think about that anymore, right? Let's just move on with your life. Move on. And people are very impatient for that. And I'm guilty of that too. Not with it in a case of a rape, but Like you feel the urge to go move on because it's uncomfortable. Dealing with trauma is uncomfortable. And so we tend to bury it. We tend to try to run away from it and move on. But it doesn't go away, and it's not healed because we haven't really worked with it and gone through and healed it. So it becomes this sort of hard thing that exists under the surface. And after a lifetime, these hard bumps of trauma, these hard scar tissues, really affect how we interact with the world. And there's no freshness. It's very it can get very hardened and just by rote. You follow the same paths in the world, you follow the same paths in your thoughts, and you stay away from those thoughts that make you uncomfortable. But it's those very thoughts that make you uncomfortable that need to be paid attention to and really looked at, and given compassion and love and healing. And then those thoughts, they won't nudge at you anymore because you've taken care of them and you've put them to bed and kissed them goodnight. And that's what this processing is all about. And there's so much trauma in the world right now, and there's so much individual trauma in each one of our lives. So how do we heal the world? We heal ourselves. We heal our own traumas. And every time someone does that, it frees up everybody else. So anyway, happy Wednesday. I'm going to go get my coffee, which is likely maybe on the side of burning by now. Take care.